Yeah. What you mixing? Right. What's that? Oh, okay. To a cold leader.
I don't want to hear none of that. He dropping score, fuck him. Just look around. He ain't with his body because he never was. Now my chin like you with the angel for your brother's prayer. Body won't be Richard Porter. Dog him like Alpo. Play if he want. He's laying in a trunk like he Valvo. A 7'5" rubber ass nigga. I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow side. Yeah, this the rebel car. Feel like gonna check when I'm in Fairfield. You feel it for it. Still up on my brain. Still, I think they saw that I.S.U.P.K. Get it, boy, lost. They gon' stop it. Call it Elroy. Fucking gang. Come out on them demons like I'm Hellboy. Woo! On 44 shit, yo man. Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, and they head with that shit. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop on like a Samuel, I got time to give. Haters thought I died, I survived, they don't hide it. Got it off the road, they don't hide it. That's what he don't show the skill, I show the skill. He died, but he don't work the wheel, I work the wheel. Yeah, I'm too solid, super tight, yeah, back to zero. They put my life, I ain't worried, I got real soul, kill for me, niggas watch yourself. They say
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Understand it is Monday, right? The history class where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using external references to support biblical foundation, right? In shoot, I don't even know where we in this Genesis, man. I didn't lost count. But where we are in the Genesis breakdown, I mean, we done went through creation, Adam and Eve, and serpent. You know what I'm saying? To the enmity that was separated between Adam's seed and the serpent's seed. Adam and Eve getting out of the garden. Cain killing Abel. You know what I'm saying? Cain getting kicked out of his father's house, removed from the presence of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And then, reestablishing the line of Adam through Seth. You know what I'm saying? All the way down to Noah. The whole world being wiped out due to interracial marriage. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we are, man. You know what I'm saying? We at the end of Genesis chapter 8. You know what I'm saying? Going into 9. You know what I'm saying? Coming for that boom, 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 bam. You feel me? All right. So we're gonna pick up kind of sort of where we left off at Genesis 8 and 21. And as a prelude into 9. All right. When you got to go ahead and read it, Doc.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord smiled.
Oh, Salakia. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. If you are on Facebook, go ahead and share the class. Salakia. Wrong thing. Oh, here we go. While I'm asking y'all to do it, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. All right. All right. So if you got it, go ahead and read it.
Genesis chapter 8, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake. For the imaginations of man's heart is evil in his youth, from his youth.
You understand? So the first thing that you have to understand is that the imagination of a man's heart is evil, right? We established this last week, right? I give the example all the time. Like, if you have $1 million, right? If I give you $1 million right now, what's the first thing that you gonna do, right? If the first thing that you think about is something for self, it's evil. Right? We're like, well, how, sir? Like, I mean, shoot, I want to, get me straight so I can get my family straight. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but the first thing you said was me, right? The Lord doesn't bless you for personal gain, right? Anything that the Lord gives you is for provision for others. All right. I'll give you perfect example, right? So in the story that we're dealing with, Noah, right? So the Lord didn't give Noah this ark, right, just to save himself, right? Now, was Noah saved? Yes. Was his family saved? Yes, right? But 4 of every clean animal and 2 of every unclean animal was also saved that walked upon the face of the earth, right? So when the Lord makes provisions for you, it's not just for you. So when the Lord gives you provision, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's promotion on the job, you know what I'm saying? Like he blesses your personal business and entrepreneurship. You understand? The Lord doesn't just bless you for you, right? It's to make provision to help others. Maybe the Lord give you a 5-bedroom house so you can house a couple of brothers. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So, or you got personal property that you turned into an Airbnb. Maybe that Airbnb could be used to house brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? You have to turn your mind to thinking, how can I better serve my people? Right? If your mindset isn't that, then your imagination is evil. Because like we went through the rabbit hole of last class, you know, once you start thinking about the personal things you want, okay, you want nice clothes, okay. Now you want to go somewhere to show off these nice clothes, right? So when you go to this place where you're going to show off your nice clothes, let's say you go to the club, right? You're gonna buy a section. You know what I'm saying? Because you want everybody to see you, you know what I'm saying, apart from everybody else, right? But don't nobody want to be in a section by themselves, right? So you bring all your boys, you know what I'm saying? You got bottle service and the sparkle is flying. You understand what I'm saying? And then, you don't want your boys to be by themselves, so then you inviting girls up, right? Now you just spend all this money on this liquor, you gonna make sure he's gonna get drunk. So you gonna be drinking, make yourself more susceptible to spirits, you understand? And then now you potentially making someone your wife that you ain't vetted, right? That one night can turn into 18 years of heartache and pain. You understand? Or a lifetime of pain of getting something that you can't get rid of. You see what I'm saying? But all that came, man, I just want to hot fly one time. You know what I'm saying? Now, is there anything wrong with looking nice? No. You understand? But that should not be the forefront of your mind, right? You shouldn't want to be so fly that your brother look like a papa. You know what I'm saying? Like with you. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, uh, one day we was out, everybody was rocking Mitris. You ain't have a Mitri. What happened? Can't clap. Hey, you got a Mitri, bro? Shoot. Boom. There you go. Now you got a Mitri. So now you clean like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you to like when they came to see Solomon, right? All the servants was so fly, right? They thought that one of the servants was the king, and it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? You should want your people to shine. You should want your people to be better off, right? But the only way that you do that is by not having a selfish mindset. And that's by killing self. And that's what Noah did. Noah literally killed himself. And because of that, the entire world and mankind was saved, not only the creepy and crawly things that were upon the face of the earth. All right. Okay. Give you a quick example of that. I'll give you one precept on that. Talking about the imagination of men. Well, go ahead. Continue reading 21 real quick.
Neither would I smite, neither will I again smite anymore everything living, as I have done.
All right. So the Lord said that He's no longer going to smite, right? Everything living, right? So the reason why the entire world was destroyed was because of the sons of God, right? So it's just like, okay, so when we lost the kingdom, right? You know what I'm saying? Was it because everybody was sinning, or was it because of one man sin? Who? Who's the one man that sinned? That is correct. Get that brother a hand. You know what I'm saying? That brother said Solomon. All right. So because of Solomon's sin, we all lost the kingdom, right? But because that's how the Most High looks at things, right? So at that point in time, when he destroyed the world with Noah, okay, well, one of his creations messed up. So if that creation is corruptible, then everything must be corruptible. We're gonna reset the entire stage, right? But the Lord said, no longer is he going to destroy all life for man's? He's not going to curse the ground no longer for man's sake. If man messes up, man's going to get cursed, right? If the whales mess up, the whale's going to get cursed, right? No longer is all creation going to be destroyed because of man's sake, right? Okay, so give me as a precept. Go ahead.
Is that why whales and things don't get COVID and monkeypox?
Exactly, because they're operating inside of their creation, right? Like in Ecclesiastes, it says the whole duty of man is to serve God and keep the commandments, right? If we serve God and keep the commandments, we wouldn't have to worry about the curses, right? The animals are serving God and keeping the commandments of the outlaws of what the way they were created. They don't go outside of their design, right? But Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have that capability, right? So instead of choosing to serve the Lord, we choose to serve ourselves, our flesh, right? Which desires to die, which desires to go back to the ground, right? All right, give me Proverbs 6 and 18 as a precept for this, right? For the imagination of the heart of men.
Proverbs chapter 6, verse 18.
No, give me yeah, that's right, 6 and 18. Let me pull it up for him. Go ahead and read. I'm gonna pull it.
And his heart that devises wicked imaginations.
Start at let's see. Start at 17.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 17.
No, Proverbs.
Salaki.
Yeah, Proverbs.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 17.
Uh-huh.
A proud look, a lying tongue.
A what?
A proud look, a lying tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And hands that shed innocent blood. And heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. Feet that be swift in running to mischief.
So what you have to understand is that your heart, right, is naturally drawn to mischief, right? Well, how is that, sir? Okay, well, if somebody punch you in the face, what you want to do? You want to hit them back. If somebody takes one of yours, what you want to do? You want to get your lick back, right? If somebody cuts you off on the freeway, you dang on there want to blow their brains out, right? This is your initial thought, right? So the imagination of mankind is wicked, right? The only thing that keeps you from wickedness is serving the Lord. Okay? All right. Give me one more precept and then we'll move on. Give me Matthew 15 and 19. So we can know now. So know that all your heart is your mind, right? It's not talking about the physical thing that beats inside of your body, you know, like you know how people always say, follow your heart, right? What they're talking about is following your first mind, right? So let's find out what are the thoughts or the minds of men. All right, you got it? All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murder, adulteries.
Hold on, read that real slow.
For out of the heart proceed.
So for out of the what?
The heart.
The what?
The heart.
The what?
The heart.
Uh-huh.
Proceed evil thoughts.
Right? So not out of the heart proceeds good thoughts. Out of the heart perceives evil thoughts. All right. What are these evil thoughts?
Murder.
Mm-hmm.
Adultery.
Mm-hmm.
Fornication.
Mm-hmm.
thefts, false witness, blasphemy.
Right? Because out of your heart or out of your mind comes the desires of your flesh, right? And as we establish, your flesh comes from the dust of the ground. So your flesh desires to go home, right? So all your flesh wants to do is overindulge in whatever sense that it is. Like we always get the example, the eye doesn't get enough seeing, the ear hearing, the nose smelling, the tongue tasting, right? Or the senses of feeling, right? So it's gonna overindulge in one of these senses to the point to where you die, so your flesh can go back home to the dirt, right? The spirit and the flesh cannot coexist together, right? Because the Most High said that my spirit will not all man, right? So the reason why he says because man is all spirit is immortal, as the soul is, right? The flesh is not. The flesh desires to die. The spirit and the soul desire, well, the spirit desire to live on. Your soul is a battle between the flesh and the spirit, good and evil, righteousness and wickedness, right? So you have to decide, you have to make a decision, you have to make a choice, right? All right. All right, so let's go back to Genesis 8. Let's read the end of Genesis 8. Let's get into 9. All right, when you got to go ahead and read it. We had 22.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 22. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
Right? So basically what the Lord is saying here, his promise is like as long as the earth remaineth seed time and harvest, cold and heat, so that's summer and winter, right? And day and night, he will not destroy the earth by way of flood ever again, right? And let's get into that. All right, so let's go straight into 9 and 1.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth.
Now, why is he telling Noah this? Why is he telling Noah and his sons to be fruitful and multiply? What just took place?
Oh, he just killed everybody.
Yeah, he killed everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's only 8 people. It's Noah and his wife. They did their job. They got 3 sons, right? He's like, now look, sons, you know, I need y'all to put that work in. You understand what I'm saying? All right, we got to repopulate the face of the earth. So through the 3 of y'all, or rather the 6 of y'all, because 8 souls were saved, right? But Noah had 3 sons. His sons plus their wives were saved. So I got to put in that work, man. I need y'all to repopulate the face of the earth. All right. Like y'all gonna be different people. You know what I'm saying? All right. Keep reading, verse 2.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that move upon the earth, and upon all the fish of the sea.
Why is this? No, but why is the fear of us, right? Why is it the dread upon every living thing upon the face of the earth? Man, you've been here since Genesis 1:1. Yeah, of us, mankind. No. Go back to give me Genesis 1:26. Quick review. Genesis 1:26. Why is it that when you turn the lights on, the roaches scatter? Why is it when you turn a corner and the cat see you, it goes running? Like a cat can mess you up. You know what I'm saying? Why is it when a dog sees you, it's naturally afraid? Why is it when you walking through the woods, the deer's running, they got answers, they can gore you? Why is it that a bull or a bear natural instinct is to run away from you? Lions keep away from you. You understand? Gazelles keep away from you. Why is that? Read.
This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And God said, let us make man in our image.
Oh, let me pull it up for him. Genesis 1:26. Go ahead.
God said, let us make man in our image.
Mm-hmm.
After our likeness, and let them have dominion over.
Let them have what?
Dominion.
What does dominion mean? Exactly. Right? So we have rulership over the face of the earth. You understand? That's why they run and they fear. Right? Keep reading.
Dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air,
Mm-hmm.
and over the cattle, and over all the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading. Verse 27.
So God created man in his own image.
In what image?
In his own image.
Uh-huh.
In the image of God created he him. Male and female.
All right. So we are literally in the image of the Most High God. Literally. Right? So, like, prime example, right? If an angel of the Lord came down, right, and an angel that descended down, they had four heads: a head of a man, a head of an ox, a head of an eagle, right, and a head of a lion, arms, and then it had like four wings. But in these wings is eyes, and all of these wings, and it descended, and it's like 8-10 foot tall. You would fear it, right? Why? Because it's in the image of God, right? Because one of the angels' faces is what? Your face, right? Right? And you stand upright like an angel, right? So the power, just like the power of the Lord that is in that angel that has a celestial body, right? You have the power of the Lord in your terrestrial body, right? And they recognize your authority and rulership. Now, peep this. Just like any subject, you abuse that power. What do the subjects do? They'll rebel, right? You have rebellion on your hands, right? You know, and right now the white man is in rulership. All the animals, like I saw a video the other day. These three white boys was in the woods hunting. You know what I'm saying? And two wild boars came out the woods, like pa pa. You know what I'm saying? And then four boars came out of the woods, pa 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 pa. And then I BS you not. It was a swarm, a legion, 100 wild boars came out of the woods after them. You understand? They sick and tired of it. You understand? But the scripture says is that the world is at peace when the righteous are in rulership. The world is in turmoil right now because in Job, the world was given over to the hand of the wicked. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So let's go back to where we were. Let's go back to Genesis 9. Yeah, 9 and 2. You got a question? 9 and 3. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb I have given you all things.
Mm-hmm. So the scripture says, all right, so like, you know, the big argument with people in the Israelite community, you understand, which is like a dumb argument, right? You know, what we were meant to eat when we were naturally designed, right? Well, we were designed to take, the scripture says that he gave us herb for meat, right? Okay, that was in the beginning, right? So here we are, we in chapter 9, we still in Genesis, right? Right, this is still post-creation. Keep it real, this is the new population on the face of the earth. And he said, what? In verse 3?
Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you.
Mm-hmm. Now, does that mean every living thing? What does it mean?
Every living thing that's clean or clean.
All right. So this is how you know that Noah had knowledge of the truth. So if Noah had knowledge of the truth, it means Adam had to have knowledge of the truth. Because Noah knew the difference between clean and unclean animals, because the Lord told him that of every clean animal, you know what I'm saying, you take 4 thereof, you understand, so you can have sustenance for you and your family, right? And every unclean animal, you take 2. But in Christianity, they teach you like every animal and creature on the face of the earth went into the ark 2 by 2, right? Which is a lie. That's not in the Bible. Okay? All right. So now it's saying that of the flesh, you know what I'm saying, you can freely eat. All right. So let's get some clarification on it. Let's go to Deuteronomy 12 and 15. All right. So you can know that what's going on here, like that Noah had knowledge of the truth. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 15.
Mm-hmm. When you got to go ahead and read it.
Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates,
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever thy soul lusteth after,
Mm-hmm.
according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee. The unclean, the clean may eat thereof, as of the roebuck,
Mm-hmm.
and as of the hart.
All right. So that's 1. All right. Give me Deuteronomy 14 and 3. Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not eat an abominable thing.
Hold on, brother. Let me get them there with you. All right. Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
Well, okay, so all right, so it said that we can freely eat of all flesh, right? Right? Clean and unclean, right? But this saying here don't eat no abominable thing. So what is something that is an abomination?
Any unclean flesh.
What? But why? What makes something clean or unclean?
Listed in Leviticus.
Oh, Sapar got his hand up. What's up, man? What you got? The question is, what makes something clean or unclean?
It's like this, sir. If I may, all the meats that were meant to receive for Thanksgiving in Leviticus the 11th chapter.
Okay. So you saying I can't be thankful for pork? I can't be thankful for eel, rabbit, vulture. I can't be thankful to eat human. Why? All I gotta say is, Lord, I'm thankful for this human hand. And I can be Hannibal Lecter. You know what I'm saying? I can fry some human hand up right now. I can get me some Sapar knuckles. I'm thankful for Sapar knuckles. I can't get no Sapar knuckles? Why? You said as long as I receive it in Thanksgiving, right?
It's like all the meats that were meant to be received with.
But okay, but you're not answering my question. And if you online, right, you got a shot at it too, right? So what makes something lawful and unlawful? Make it practical. Go ahead.
Lawful, especially lawful animals they all eat grass.
I mean, rabbits eat grass. Raccoons, I mean, they eat anything. Make it practical for me. I'm not saying that you're wrong. You are absolutely right, but bring it home.
It's not something that's meant to clean. It's not something meant to clean. It's not meant to clean the earth. It's not meant to clean the sea. It's not something that eats trash.
Okay. Sis S. Ross says, the Lord deems it such. Sis, you're absolutely right. And I'm not gonna argue with the Lord, right? Okay. But what I'm asking is for a Christian, well, I'm not gonna say a Christian, but somebody in the world. Well, I mean, the Lord created. What are you going to is my question. Make it practical. That's not making it practical. Okay. Differentiated Adam from all creation. Adam was given the what? He was given the what? The breath of life. What is the breath of life? Answer the question. Don't ask me and then take the mic away. It's the what? It's the truth. Okay. All right. So the Lord gave Adam commandments to live a life and to live it more abundantly. Right? Okay. All right. So the reason why there's like unclean animals are abominable versus clean animals, right? We'll make it practical, right? If you eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you're gonna get cancer, right? You're gonna get gout. You're gonna get hypertension. You're gonna get diabetes, right? You know, if you lay vicarious with women, right? Because your flesh wants to go back to the ground, right? So its job is to overindulge in whatever it is humanly possible. If it's food, I'm gonna eat everything, right? So I can be my 600-pound life because I desire to die. Your flesh desires to die because your flesh wants to go back to where it came from, the ground. Because that's where it was formed from. You understand what I'm saying? So the difference between clean and unclean from a practical standpoint, you are what you eat, right? Now, what you said, there is some premise to it, right? The fish that we eat, like they eat algae, right? Okay. The reason why we don't eat shrimp, crab, lobster, they're bottom feeders. Bottom feeders eat everything that float to the bottom. So that's excrement, fecal matter, carcasses, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever floats to the bottom, that's what they feast on. Right? They're like roaches, maggots, right? Would you eat a maggot? No, you would not eat a maggot. Would you eat a roach? No, you would not. It's disgusting. Would you eat a buzzard or a vulture? No, you would not, because it's disgusting. They literally eat flesh all day, live flesh, right? The inside of their body is filled with death, right? So the Lord, because you're made in the image of God, he wants you to have a life and to live it more abundantly. So either you eat life, which is the herb, which you're freely to eat, just like he told you in Genesis, right? Or you eat things that eat the herb, right? But even when you eat things that eat the herb, you have to specifically eat certain things that are clean. Like you said, it has to be a wood hoof, right? Cloven hoof, right? That parted, right? Like a cow, right? You're not gonna eat a horse. You're gonna eat a what? A cow, right? Or an ox, a buffalo, a deer, right? Antelope, right? These are things that are lawful, right? You're not going to eat the things that are unlawful. You understand what I'm saying? Because these things will kill you. If you eat a possum, it'll kill you, right? Because they eat everything. If you eat a raccoon, it'll kill you because they eat everything. They are literally the garbage men on the face of the earth. What the pigs don't eat, they eat. What the goats don't eat, they eat. Right? A goat can eat a whole can, right? But a goat has a what? A part of the hoof. So it's lawful to eat. Right? So you have to know the difference. All right. Question. She says, Esra Salakia. So is it safe to say animals represent humans and has been built into creation? And then she further goes on and says, Salakia, like in Genesis, where different creatures were built on different days. All right. So everything in creation has a job, right? The perfect example, look up, give me Sapar, while I'm pulling this, give me no, I know where it is. I think it's in Romans. Go to Romans 9, Ryan. Let's see, vessel of honor, and this I want to say it's in 9. Honor. See, hold on. Vessel of honor and dishonor. No, it's 2 Timothy 2:20. Matter of fact, no, go to I was right. Romans 9:21. Start at 20. Start at Romans 9:20. Romans 9:20. Let me pull it up on the screen for him. Romans. Boom, 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 boom. I'll pass it up. Romans 9. And anybody, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them online. You know what I'm saying? 9:20. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Nay, but old men.
Start at yeah, you good. Go ahead.
Nay, but old men, who art thou that replies against God?
All right, so this is things you have to ask yourself. Who are you to question God? Right? Now, we'll make this practical, right? Who are you to question your daddy? If your daddy tell you to wash the dishes, by God doggone damn me, wash the doggone dishes. If your daddy tell you to cut the yard, damn me, you you cut the god doggone yard. If he tell you to cut the TV off and go to bed, hell, take your black behind the bed. Who are you to question your father? Right? This is the first thing that you have to have in your mind. Who are you to question your father? Read.
Shall the thing that formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
All right. So, will you say to your daddy that spilled seed in your mama, well, why the hell you making me to be your slave? No. Negro, I taught you how to walk. Negro, I taught you how to pee and poop in the toilet. Before me, you was peeing and pooping on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you couldn't even keep your head up straight. I had to keep your head up so you wouldn't be born with a deficiency and you walking around like this because you couldn't keep your head up straight. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't hold a bottle to feed yourself, let alone a spoon. You didn't know what your appendages were. I had to teach you. These are fingers. These are toes. Toes and feet are used to walk. Fingers are used to grab. Right? Who are you? Negro, I wiped your behind. Humble yourself. Read.
What if God slack? This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 21. Hath not potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one's vessel unto honor,
You understand? Keep reading.
and another unto dishonor?
You understand? So just as a person with a lump of clay, right? If I want to make a vase, I'll make a vase for flowers, right? If I want to make a porcelain toilet to take a crap in, I'm gonna make a seat so I can take a comfortable crap in. Who are you? Right? Everything that is created serves a purpose, right? Whether you're a cup to hold oil, a candlestick to hold a candlestick, a scroll to hold the word of the Lord, a shofar to blow the sound and the trumpet of the Lord, or a toilet to crap in, man. Who are you to tell me what I can create? Right? Everything that I create serves a purpose in my house. Now, the earth sits on 4 pillars and it is a footstool for the Most High God. So the earth is an ottoman for the Lord in his house. In his throne room, the earth is an ottoman. Right? Let's put that in perspective. So who are you, an ant, to question why or what the Lord created, how he created? Right? Now, that's not to say that there's not a time and place for everything to get understanding from your father, Sister S. Ross, right? But I'm saying all of this to say everything that is created for a specific job, right? Pigs, possums, raccoons, rabbits, vultures, maggots, roaches, shrimp, lobsters, crab, oysters their job is literally they're the garbage men of the earth. Why would you eat an oyster? An oyster is the water filtration system of the sea. It is the reason why the ocean is blue. Because it sucks all of the dirt, the bile, the gunk that floats in the water that the shrimp, the lobster, the crabs don't eat into its shell so it can be clean for fish that you eat to swim through. So why would you, Salakia, commanding during YAHANNA, why would you eat shit that eats shit? That makes no sense. Right? So Paul, you had a question. Exactly. There's no oysters there. Right? But are you talking about in the Mississippi or are you talking about the Gulf? No. So the reason why the Gulf of Mexico itself is brown is because the Delta, which is the Mississippi River, it is a river, but it's actually a delta, right? A delta is a geographical formation of water. I'm not going to get into geographical science, but the reason why it's called a delta, look up what a delta actually is, right? The delta dumps into the Gulf of Mexico, and where it dumps, because the tide flows in a certain way, it catches the Mississippi River and it pushes it into the entire Gulf out to the ocean, right? So every 10 years, there's a reverse of the tide, right? And every 10 years, only once, and it's like for a span of like 5 days, is the Gulf of Mexico clear and blue. Like if you go to South Beach in Miami, or you go to Honolulu, Jamaica, Mexico, right? It's because of the flow of the tide catching the clay that dumps from the delta of the Mississippi River, right? So, like, I mean, I don't know if you ever, like I went to Southern University, right, which is right off the bluff, right? The bluff is the Mississippi River, right? That bay, right, is straight clay. It's red, right? It's so red, it's almost orange, right? So when that dumps into the ocean, it's gonna make it brown, right? If you mix blue, right, and red together, you're gonna get brown, right? And that's why the color of the Gulf of Mexico is what it is, because of how the tide flows. Okay. But if you have oysters and the tide is flowing the actual correct way to take it away, it'll be blue, right? Which is what happens every 10 years in the Gulf of Mexico. The tide reverses. All right. So that's why when you go to South Beach, when you go to Fort Lauderdale in Florida, the Florida Keys, Cuba, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Belize. You understand? That's why the water is blue, right? Now, the reason why natural lakes and streams are blue because the water that's in the sea goes through osmosis, going through the doors of the earth, funneling through sand, gravel, right? Wood, grass, topsoil. You understand? And it's filtered through. And that's what makes the water drinkable for you, right? And we went through this in the beginning of Genesis when we started this breakdown, correct? Right. All right. So let's get back to it. All right. So now that we've established that, S. Ross, excellent question. All right. If anybody else has any questions, Blackley said, you can't hear the reader. Hey, oh yeah, the whatchamacallit is not on. Turn the hey, I appreciate you, Blackley. Turn the make sure it's on. All right, no sweat. All right, so let's get back to it. There you go. All right, if you can hear the reader, type 2. Say test 1 2.
Test.
All right. Okay, let's get back to it. All right, let's go back to Genesis 9. What we at Genesis 9 and 4? All right, no sweat. You got to go ahead and read it.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
But flesh with the life thereof, which is blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
Okay, so if flesh, okay, so now we got an addendum onto the order, right? So if flesh has what? Read it again.
The life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
But I thought only Moses is the one the law. I thought only Moses got the law. Cause this sounds like the Levitical law to me. So Paul, what you think? Don't this sound like the Levitical law to you? Like when it's saying if the meat or the flesh has the blood, you're not supposed to eat ye thereof, right? But the Levitical priesthood wasn't established until after Moses. So how is it that this is established here? So does that mean that the law is being is been here all along? You understand what I'm saying? To further bring this home, give me Leviticus chapter 7, verse 26. Give me Leviticus chapter 7, and I want you to start at verse 26. When you got it, go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Genesis. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 7, verse 26. Moreover, ye shall not eat no manner of blood, whether it be fowl or beast, in any of your dwellings.
Keep reading, brother.
Whatsoever soul it be that eateth any manner
No,
of blood.
whatsoever.
Whatsoever soul it be that eateth any manner of blood, even that soul shall be cut off from his people.
The what shall be cut off from their people?
That soul shall be cut off from them.
So what is the soul? The soul is you. Right? Because remember, inside of your vessel, you have your flesh, you have the spirit, you have the flesh which comes from the ground, you have the spirit which comes from the Lord, and you have your soul. The soul is you. The battle is for you. Whether you gonna go and live on with the Lord in eternity, right? Or you gonna be damned, right? To the dirt, right? Now that's a double entendre, right? The dirt doesn't literally mean, yes, it does mean the physical ground, but as we know, as we broke down in Genesis 2, when Adam was formed from the dust of the earth, we also know that it's an analogy for a lower state. You will continually be in a lower state, carnal, because you can't see past your lusts and desires. You're no more than a beast, right? You're no different from a dog, a lion, an ape. You understand? Because you can't get past your desires. You still a baby. All a baby wants to do is bye-bye, bye-bye. I'm hungry, bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? I got boo-boo, pee-pee. You know what I'm saying? You desire to eat, defecate, piss, and satisfy your libido, right? You're no more than a common beast. You cannot control yourself. So thus for you shall be relegated to the earth just like a beast, the dust, a lower state, because you cannot control your flesh, your unclean desires, right? Okay, so this is why you're not supposed to eat of the blood, right? Because in the blood is life, the life force, right? This also goes into mysticism, which we're gonna get into that, right? Right. So when you would make a sacrifice unto the Lord, you would slice the throat of the animal at the door of the tabernacle, right? And you would spill his blood into a cup, right? And the Levitical priest would take this blood that's poured into a cup and he would sprinkle it around the altar because the life force of that animal is in the blood, right? Right? You understand? And it made it a sacrifice when you burnt the flesh, which is a huge barbecue, right? You know what I'm saying? The greatest example of you seeing a actual sacrifice unto the Lord is when you go to a barbecue, right? If you barbecue and brisket, right? Whatever blood is still left in that brisket, when you cook it off, that blood is dripping off into that fire around that altar. All a barbecue pit is, it's an altar unto the Lord, right? And when it says it lets off a savory smell unto the Lord, you can smell barbecue 10 miles away. You understand what I'm saying? You rolling in your car on the freeway, and that smell come through your window like, ooh, man, somebody barbecuing, man. You know what I'm saying? You can smell it from miles away. That's what it means, a sweet, savory smell unto the Lord, right? You got that fresh charcoal going on that flesh, boy. Them wood chips, you know what I'm saying? It's going down. You feel me? And then they say you mingle the flesh with oil. That sounds like fried chicken to me. A chicken fried steak. Or when you're trying to marinate your flesh to put up on the pit, you know, you mingle it with oil so the seasonings that you put on there is sticking it whole to the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know how to cook, just read the Bible. The Bible will teach you how to cook. It'll teach you how to fry some chicken. Not only does it say mingle it with oil, but it say fine flour. You understand? It sounds like fried chicken to me. You hear me? You know what I'm talking about? So, but you're not supposed to eat of the blood because life is therein, right? Let me give you another precept. Give me give me Deuteronomy 12:6, then 15 and 23. 12:6, and then 15 and 23. When you got it, go ahead and read it. 12:6.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And thither ye shall bring
And thither.
And thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings.
All right, so this is what I was talking about, right? Your burnt offerings. Okay, read.
And your sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
And your tithes.
Mm-hmm.
And heave offerings of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And your vows. And your free will offering.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
And the firstlings of your herd and the flock and of your flock.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
And there ye shall eat.
Okay, so now we know what we're bringing, right? Drop down to 23.
Deuteronomy chapter.
Start at 22.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 20. Start at chapter 12, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Even as roebuck.
All right, a roebuck is a deer. Mm-hmm.
And the hart is eaten, so thou shalt eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike.
Mm-hmm.
Only be sure that thou eat not the blood.
Eat not the what?
Eat not the blood.
Eat not the what?
Eat not the blood.
Eat not the what?
Eat not the blood.
Why? Read.
For the blood is the life.
Is the what?
Is the life.
Uh-huh.
And thou may not eat the life with the flesh.
You understand? Keep reading.
Thou shalt not eat it. Thou shalt pour it upon the earth as water.
Keep reading.
Thou shalt not eat it that it may go well with thee, and with the children of after thee, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord, only thy holy things which thou hast in thy vows.
All right. So now, right? So like Sister Ezra said earlier, right? This is because the Lord said so, right? Because we're gonna follow our daddy's orders, right? But what's the practical reason why? Right? Why should you not eat something that has blood in it? What will happen? Hmm? I mean, you can speak into the mic. But what will happen? Make it practical. Sapar.
Oh, parasites.
What will happen if you eat something that still has the blood in it? Go ahead.
Like you would get physically sick.
You'll get what?
Physically sick.
And what can happen to the point if you get too sick?
Death.
You'll die, right? Because your body is not meant to devour the life force. You're not a dog, you're not a lion, right? You're not a coyote, you're not a wolf, right? You're not a vulture, you're not an eagle, right? You're not a crow, you're not a buzzard, right? You're not a possum, you're not a maggot, you're not a worm, right? So your body is not meant to devour the life force, right? So if you eat the life force, you will get physically sick, right? Because your body is not meant to devour blood, right? There is no nutrients in you eating blood. I mean, if you want to break it down, there's no nutritional value in eating blood, right? You don't get no vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin D. You don't get no electrolytes. You know what I'm saying? Like you know you don't from blood. It is life force. It is in the body that gives life. It is the oil in the body, right? Oil is the blood of the earth. It is the earth. It is the animation fluid, right? That makes the earth be alive, that moves the core, right? Molten plate, right? Okay. If you frack the earth of enough oil of its blood, the earth will stop moving. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing here, right? Your body is not meant to devour animation, right? Okay. So give me one more precept and then 15 and 23, and then we'll move on. Give me Deuteronomy 15 and 23.
Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 23.
Let me pull it up for them so they can read along with you. All right, well, you got it. Go ahead and read it.
Only thou shalt not eat the blood thereof, thou shalt pour it upon the ground as water.
Right? You shall not eat the blood thereof, you shall pour it on the ground as water. Why? 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 What does blood turn into in the earth? What does, man, me giving this,
It goes back to the earth.
it goes back to earth to be what?
Soil.
To be soil? Okay. When I bury you, right, your body, nutrients. Oh, yeah, that's a good answer, right? But what do nutrients turn into? Okay, let me ask this, right? Okay. So when you eat something, right? Okay, based off of Newton's law, right? Matter is not destroyed, just transformed from one state into another, right? So what does the blood turn into for the earth? You said nourishment. Okay. So the nourishment turns into what for the earth? Huh? What? Okay. What does the food for the earth turn into? What did the dinosaurs turn into? It turned into what? What? And what is fossil fuel? Oil. The blood of the earth. Right? Your flesh desires to go back home. Right? When you dig a hole in the earth and you put a body in it, you're feeding the earth door. Right? When you dig a hole in the earth, you are feeding the earth. Right? Because any animal that dies, it turns into what? Say it again. What type of fuel? What type of fuel? Fossil fuel, right? When you put a body into the earth, it turns into fossil fuel. When you pour blood into the earth, it turns into fuel for the earth, right? Because this is where we come from. This is where we were formed from. All right. So this will help you understand why you desire to die. This will help you understand why you crave to kill yourself. This will help you understand why the imagination of man is evil. This will help you understand why you have such a destructive behavior, because you desire to go back to the ground, to be nourishment for the earth, because that's where you came from, right? Your soul is you, that's eternal. Your spirit is from the Lord, that's eternal, right? But the spirit knows that it's eternal. The soul is like, I'm here. So it's a fight between your flesh that wants to die and go back home, right? And the spirit that's eternal. That's why it says the spirit and the flesh cannot dwell together, right? You can't, or in another analogy says you can't serve God and Mammon, right? Mammon is a deity that had to deal with your flesh, right? The love of money is the root of all evil, right? Because it's, you understand? So your brother, you know how it's done. You feel me? You want to make your brother feel this. You ain't sauce like this. You ain't stunting like this. You know what I'm saying? That's your flesh, right? So when flesh speak to flesh, he's like, oh, you saying that because you want to die. That's how niggas, oh, nigga, you stunting. Oh, you want to die. Okay, no sweat. Let me help you go back home. Because your flesh talking to my flesh. You know what I'm saying? When you come through slab diet in a poverty-stricken neighborhood, oh, you want to die. You want to go home. I got you. Your flesh speaking to my flesh. Let me help you go home. You understand what I'm saying? This is practical now. This is remedial. You understand? Your flesh desires to die. Your spirit desires to live. but your spirit has requirements to live. One of them is you can't partake of the blood that has life in it, right? This is pre-Mosaic law. You understand? Which lets you know that the law wasn't unto Moses, it was before Moses, right? It started at Adam when he got the breath of life, right? But just like when the Lord sent Moses to save the Israelites, he reinitiated and reinstated his law, right? The Lord sent Noah to save humanity through his seed. Okay, now we saved, right? Let me reestablish the rules. Just like when I gave your ancestor Adam the rules, the breath of life, when I gave him the breath of life, these are the rules in my house. You follow these rules, you live, right? The only reason why you're alive now is because you kept the rules that I gave to Adam that were reestablished with Seth, right? Passed down to Methuselah, to Enoch, who I loved, and said, nigga, come up here with me in the fourth dimension, because you such a real ass nigga, Salakia. You understand? To Lamech, Noah's father, you understand? To Noah. It's the only reason why you alive. So now that y'all the only 8 people on the face of the earth, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Yahweh, your father. You understand what I'm saying? Let me reintroduce to you the rules of my house. Let's get back to it. All right. Let's go back to Genesis 9. That was 9 and 4. We had 9 and 5.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 5.
Let me pull it up for him. All right, go ahead.
And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require.
Mm-hmm.
And at the hand of men. And at the hand of every man's brother.
So what is this mean? All right, so right. So the blood is what? Is what? You can answer the question. So, matter of fact, raise your hand if you got the answer. Don't just, all right. What is it? So in the blood, right? Okay. So we've established that in the blood is life, right? Okay. And you are not to eat flesh with the blood therein, right? Once you drain the blood from the animal, you're supposed to pour it into the ground, right? To whence it came, to nourish the earth, right? That's what your body is for. Your flesh is to feed the earth. So it's a cycle of life. Everything that lives dies, and it goes back to feed the earth to give life to the things that are living. God is a God of the living, not the dead. Okay? All right? So in verse 5, it says, and surely your blood and your lives I will require. What does that mean? Your blood and your lives I will require. If you're online, you can answer this question. When the scripture says your blood and your lives I will require, in context that we know that blood is life, right? So in verse 5, when it says, and surely your blood and your lives I will require, what does that mean? Go ahead.
You know what it says, Lord, you gotta die? You gotta die every day?
No, that's not what that means. So Paul, you want to give it a shot?
Salakia, if I may, sir, it means if you were to commit a murder.
Ho, 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 ho. That's the officer right there. What you say, Art?
Murder.
Okay, so if you would commit a murder, what that mean?
The blood will be required at the Lord's hand.
Man, get that brother a hand, man. Get that brother a hand, man. That's an officer of 50 right there, man. That boy been studying. You understand? So this is establishing an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, right? So this is the Lord establishing the first murder with Cain and Abel, right? So your life is required for the blood that you shed, right? You understand? Because if you take innocent blood, there is no remission for that. You understand what I'm saying? So the Lord says in verse 5, and surely your lives I will require, right? The next part it says, at the hand of every beast I will require it. What does that mean? Okay, so Sapar gave the cheat code, right? Sapar said, if you commit a murder, the Lord will require your blood, right? So right there, it's a semicolon. The continuing statement, it says, at the hand of every beast will I require it. What does that mean? Sis? No. All right, I'm gonna say, all right, so Sapar, what was your answer when I said, and surely your blood of your lives I'll require? What does that mean? You can just say, you don't got the mic. What you say? If you were to commit a murder, right? So just like when, man, I'm giving the answer. Just like when Cain killed Abel, right? What happened when Cain killed Abel? Go ahead. His what? It cried out from the earth, right? Because that's what happened when you spill blood, right? When you gut an animal, right, to devour, right? You're not supposed to eat the blood, right? You're supposed to, it's called blooding, right? You hang an animal upside down, you slit his throat, and you let all the blood go through reverse osmosis and drip to the ground, right? So now we've established in verse 5, it says, and surely your blood of your lives I require. So if someone commits murder on you, right, the Lord requires blood for blood, right? Right there, it has a semicolon. Then it says, at the hand of every beast I will require it. What does that mean? Sis? No. All right. Anybody else got an answer before I get a precept? All right, no sweat. Give me let's see. Give Exodus 21 and 28. To give sis and those were very excellent attempts. Exodus 21 and 8. That is correct. You got to go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 21, verse 8. If she shall please not her master, who have betrothed her to himself.
That's not right. Hold on. It should. Oh, Exodus 21 and 28. Salakia. There we go.
Exodus chapter 21. For a man and woman that they die.
All right. So if an ox, right? So what is door. Right. So, you know, oxes have hooves, right? Bulls have horns, right? So to get run through by a horn of an antelope, a deer, an ox, right? And it splits you open and you die, right? That's what it means to be gored by an animal, right? Read.
Then the ox shall be surely stoned.
It shall be what?
Surely stoned.
It shall be what?
Stoned.
So what happens when you stone something?
Yeah.
You what?
Yeah.
You put it to what?
Yeah.
To what?
Yeah.
Keep reading.
And his flesh shall not be eaten.
Why? Why should his flesh not be eaten? Why? No, because that animal spilled human blood. You understand what I'm saying? So in Genesis 9, what we at 5, right? When it says, I will require your blood, when it says I will require blood, right? It's talking about your blood, right? It's talking about, it's making reference to the original murder when Cain killed Abel, right? And like when Sapar so eloquently said, Abel's blood cried out from the ground. And the Lord was like, what have you done? He's like, well, where's your brother? He's like, well, am I my brother's keeper? You understand? That's why we don't say that in UPK. That is a sarcastic statement. It's not something to glorify, you know, like you quote Nino Brown lines, am I my brother's keeper? No, nigga, you're not. Because your imagination is wicked, is evil. You desire to murder your brother because that is what's in your flesh. Right? Because your flesh knows, saying cut you off in traffic, you doom, 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 doom. You know what I'm saying? Or if he got robbed of colors and you doom, 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 doom. He step on your sneakers in the club and you doom, 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 doom. That his family or his friends is gonna come and avenge him and doom, 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 doom. Because your flesh is from the earth and it desires to go back home. It desires to die. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when you do stuff like that, it's like, oh, you want to die. So flesh to flesh. Okay. So my flesh is talking to your flesh. Okay. Ryan, you ready to die? I got you. You know what I'm saying? So when it don't matter if it's animal or human, if an animal kills a human, right? Its blood is required. Because I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to Genesis. Go ahead, sis. You got a question? Go ahead. We getting to it. You right on the money. Promise you that. Short answer, yes. Short answer is yes. You are right on the money. All right, so let's go back to Genesis 9 and 5. All right, let's keep reading. So start at the beginning again. Genesis 9 and 5.
Let's look at Genesis chapter 9, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And surely the blood of your lives will I require.
Right? So the Lord is saying, I require your lives. Right? Because you've been saved. Your father sacrificed his life. Right? So Noah is the first sacrifice for salvation. Right? Because of his sacrifice, 8 souls were saved. The entire human race, mankind, was saved because of the sacrifice of his life, unlikened to the rest of the sons of God. The Lord destroyed the earth because the sons of God, which were the Adamites, decided to go into the daughters of men, interracial marriage. Just like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans want to be with everything else but blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And what will that do? It will turn your heart away from the Most High God. Because during that time, there were the Adamites, as I like to call them, the Beastites, the children of the serpents, and you had the Cainites, not the Canaanites, the Cainites, the descendants of Cain, right? So you had the sons of God, right, who were the descendants of Adam, right? You had the Beastites, which were liars, right? Because, the serpent lied to Eve, right? And then you had the Cainites, not the Canaanites, the descendants of Cain, who were a clan of murderers, right? Because we know that Lamech, after Cain did the first murder, he did a double homicide. And he said, shoot, if it's 7 times 7, he said, if it's like that on Cain, it'll be 7 times 7 upon me. Anyone to try and kill me, right? So Cain went to the land of Nod and took a wife. The only people that were on the face of the earth at that time, right, outside of the Adamites, were the Beastites, right? Because the Lord made enmity between the children of Adam, right, and the serpent, right? After Adam partook of the fruit and didn't check his wife and got kicked out of the garden, right? Then there's another separation. Cain was removed from the line of Adam and kicked out of his father's house and from the presence of the Lord because he killed his brother. And the Lord opened up Eve's womb again to reestablish for Seth, who took the place of Abel. And because of him, men called upon the name of the Lord again. So much so, Enoch was, I'm the realest nigga in it, you already know. Most righteous nigga in the year 3 times in a row. You understand? It's only been 3 ascensions in antiquity. Enoch, Elijah, Christ. That's it. It's the only people that have ascended to the 4th dimension on the chariot to be with the angels in the heavenly hosts with the Most High. That's it. But you know who was a descendant of Enoch? Noah. Noah is Enoch's great grandson. And of all of his kindred, his kinsmen according to the flesh, he's the only one that kept true to what Enoch taught Methuselah, what Methuselah taught Lamech, right? And Lamech essentially taught his son Noah, which was passed down from Adam, you understand, to Seth. So because of this, we have salvation. But this is the key. The same thing that happened then is the same thing that's happening now. The same reason why the Lord destroyed the world then is the same reason why the Lord is going to destroy the earth now. Because it was prophesied that it would be just like the Pharisees and Sadducees that asked Christ to give him a sign. He said, you unfaithful, deceitful nation, the only sign that you are going to get is the same sign as the time of Noah. Nigga, it's gonna rain. So I know it's so. Water's gonna fall from the sky. Nigga, you crazy. The only water that's on the earth is in streams, rivers, lakes, and oceans, and the dew that's on the ground in the morning. Water had never fallen from the sky. So he sounded like a nut. So we sound crazy when we say 200 million chariots. Those are, we call them IFOs, but the United States of America calls them UFOs. They're identified flying objects because we know what there are. They don't. Well, they do, but they say unidentified because they don't want you to get a clue of what's going on. That 200 million UFOs are going to crack open the sky, and a black man who has a fro, hair white as snow, and eyes a flame of fire is only coming for niggas, spicks, and savages. nigga, you sound crazy. Just like Noah did. When he said, it's gonna rain. What the hell is rain? Oh, okay. 200 million UFOs is gonna come down and the sky's gonna be on fire and the dead is gonna walk. All right. Somebody's been watching too much sci-fi network. Oh. That's the sign that you're gonna get. Just like in the book of Judges, when he raised up a judge when our flock went wayward to bring us back. All you're gonna get is we need to turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Or like when Christ and the apostles out, the kingdom of God is at hand. That's what you're gonna get. And when it happens and you don't listen, it's going to be woe is me. That means I am destroyed. Because you played the harlot. You thought it was a game. Now it is a game, right? You can roll them dice. I use this analogy all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in class or outside in the street. Now, this life, it's a stage play. There's an opening and there's a curtain call. Now, every person is an actor, main actor, and a supporting actor or actress in their life. Now, when your scene is your scene, you can improv as much as you want. You can improv as far to the left or as far to the right. But when your scene is over, it's over. But when that curtain call, it's the curtain call. It's the whole movie, the play, it's done. It's a wrap. The script been wrote. That's what you got to understand. The script is already written. Right now, it's your scene. You watching class right now, this is your scene. You got a choice right now. Oh, that nigga treat me. I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna light it up. I'm gonna snort it up. I'm gonna pop it up. Or I'm gonna sip it up. Or I'm gonna go bang down this broad and make a sister a whore and be a whoremonger. You know what I'm saying? Or be a glutton, be a liar, be a thief, be a murderer. You can play the game. I'm not saying you can't play the game. But understand there's rules to the game. It's rules. Right? Now you play by the flesh, you're gonna die by the flesh, just like in the game. We didn't all play Call of Duty. We didn't all play, you know what I'm saying, Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas Fault. You know what I'm saying? We didn't all played it. It's rules to the game. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. For the captivity, you shall. It's either a test or it's judgment. It's used to either build character or destroy you. To that question. Just know that the road to get to the way, you can't tiptoe to the right, tiptoe to the left. You got to stay straight. Now, it's not saying that you're not going to go through hard times. No, you are. You know what I'm saying? Your arms might get heavy holding that balance on that tightrope. Right? But shoot, just like Ryan come to work out with me in the gym, shoot, you're going to be sore. But shoot, the next time you go in the gym, you might be able to do a little bit more. There's no growth without pain. Noah knew that. He sacrificed his life and he saved mankind. Matter of fact, he saved all life. Because of Noah's sacrifice, the Lord said, I'm not going to destroy all life for man's sake anymore. Because that's how the Lord used to roll. Y'all all my creation. Y'all all my children. One of my child mess up, y'all all getting y'all butt whooped. But Lord's like, I'm done with that. The line is, it's not your fault that man tripping. Cheetah, it's not your fault. Gorilla, it's not your fault. Whale, it's not your fault. Amphibians, it's not your fault. It's man's fault. So I'm just gonna whoop up on man from now on. Y'all operating inside of y'all design. I'm not gonna penalize these children for following my orders for these rebellious people over here. That's where we at. That's why the world is in the condition that it is now. Because it was given over to the hand of the wicked. The world is at peace when righteousness is in rulership. That's how you know that the Jews, or so-called Jews, today are not the real children of Israel. Because the world is in mourning. You know what I'm saying? Ukraine is in mourning. Istanbul is in mourning. Iran is in mourning. Iraq is in mourning. Saudi Arabia is in mourning. China is in mourning. North Korea is in mourning. The entire continent of Africa is in mourning. Nobody has peace. But you know, more importantly than all of those people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who don't have a nation, who don't have a defense, who don't have a culture, whose culture and whose inheritance in the Lord, they are in mourning. Because we fell from our first estate. The time is now to choose. The Lord requires blood. So when you bang on your brother, guess what's going to happen? Nigga, you going to die. When you bang on your sister, guess what's going to happen? Nigga, you going to die. The Lord requires your blood. Because you're precious to him. You're royalty. You are Yasha. You are prince and princesses of the power. Rulership. But you want to be a papa, though. You want to be like those that are vagabonds upon the face of the earth that have no culture. See, to be who you were designed to be, it requires you to change, and you're afraid to be the best version of yourself. See, we talk that spirituality jazz, right? But just because you call yourself spiritual, you can still be a hoe. You can still smoke that dope. You know what I'm saying? You can still be on psychedelics. You know what I'm saying? You can still pop pills. You can still be a Yogananda. You understand what I'm saying? Because you spiritual. But once you walk into your inheritance in your culture, see, an inheritance comes with a requirement for you, right? A will is based off how you live, right? When this person passes on, determines on where you fall. The first shall be last, and the last first, because in this, you on the losing side. You choose to be on the losing 10, you choose not to be cool. You know what I'm saying? Not to be players, sauce dime. You know what I'm saying? Fly. You know what I'm saying? Loved, admired. You know what I'm saying? You choose to be ridiculed. You choose to be oppressed. You choose to be downtrodden. You understand? You choose for people to turn their backs on you. You choose to be isolated. You choose to be alone. But because of that, you'll be first. Because in this story, you're the underdog. And in every movie that you watch, everybody roots for the underdog. When you see somebody getting bullied as a child in the movie and they grow up, oh yeah, they're that bully right there, bro. Man, get them, bro. You want to see them win. You want to see them succeed. How much more your father seeing you sacrifice your entire life to do simply what he asked you to do? So Christ said, in my father's house are many mansions, and where I go, I prepare a place for you. But if you love me, do my father's commandments. Not believe, not feel. He said, do. Because faith without works is dead. You have to be a reflection of what you believe. It's not enough to just say, I love the Lord. I can with my mouth. I believe with my heart, because as a man think, your actions not lining up with what you're talking about, bro. You say you love the Lord, but where your works at though? See, I can tell a man of the Lord by the way he moves. Like a man of the Lord, I mean, even though he don't got no bread, somebody asks him for some spare change. If all he got is change, what he gonna give? You know what I'm saying? Or like in my song, people like, hey bro, like, you know what I'm saying, I'll get some money so I'll get some food. I'm like, bro, I don't got it. You know what I'm saying? Just to see how they gonna act. But the whole time I'm going inside of the corner store, when I'm getting gas, I'm getting them chips, I'm getting them water. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting them some coconut water for some electrolytes. You know what I'm saying? If they got like a little taqueria standing there, I might get them a couple of tacos. And on my way back to the gas pump, I'm dropping off a bag. You know what I'm saying? And if they stun, they act crazy, and they walk off, 9 times out of 10, it's somebody else out there that deserves it. That's what a man of the Lord does. A man of the Lord is a defender of the fatherless. You understand? Christ said, if you love me, what did you come visit me when I was in prison? When I was homeless, did you house me? Did you give me shelter? Did you clothe me? It ain't about what you say, it's about what you do. Noah was a doer. He wasn't just a believer. When the Lord said, I'm going to destroy life on the face of the earth, I'm going to give you and your family salvation, but you have to build this ark. No sweat, Lord. He moved in fear. Because he feared the Lord and he trusted the Lord. The Lord told him that he was going to give him salvation. The Lord said that he would establish his covenant with him. That covenant is in each and every one of you. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it's time. The kingdom of God is at hand. Time is running out. It's speeding up. You can Google it right now. The revolution on the earth. They said it's not 24 hours anymore, even though your clock may reflect it. That's lining up with scripture. He said that he would speed up the time for the righteous sake. So stop playing. What you living your life for? If it's not for the Lord, then what are you doing it for? Yourself is evil. Your flesh is malevolent. It's maniacal. Right? Because every dream that you have selfishly is only vanity and it serves self. And self ultimately wants to go back home to the dirt. So if you serve in self, it means you want to die. But only the spirit of the Lord gives you is the way to eternal life. And there are rules that comes along with this spirit. Right? Where we at? What time we got? Oh, it's 8:01. All right. Give me let me get let's see. Let's go back to Genesis. Where we at? 9 and 6. And then we'll go to 9 and 9 and we will stop there.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed.
Mm-hmm.
For in the image of God made he man.
So even more so, right? The reason why you're punished and your blood is required for killing another human being, because we were created, like, at the end of the day, everyone on the face of this earth is Adamites, right? But everyone on the face of this earth is not called, because scripture says, in Isaac shall my seed be called. Isaac is the seed of Abraham, right? And of his seed, Jacob was chosen, right? So of all the nations upon the face of the earth, the children of Israel are the Lord's favorite. We're like, well, that's not fair. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Sis, right? In your closet, right? How many pair of shoes you got? You can't even count, right? It's a lot. Okay, all right. Well, we'll just say of those shoes that you have in your closet, you got a favorite pair, don't you? Yes, sir. Right. But they all shoes though, right? Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you got a lot of dresses. Okay. Well, of your dresses, you got a favorite dress, right? But they all dresses. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a million different toothpaste on the face of the earth. What type of toothpaste you buy? Colgate. What type of toothpaste you buy? What type of toothpaste you buy? I buy Tom's. But they all toothpaste though, right? But you got, and even of those, you got a specific one that you buy, right? Right? So why the Lord can't have a favorite people? The Lord got a favorite land. He got a favorite body of water. He got a favorite bird. He got a favorite flower. Right? Just like you got a favorite pair of shoes, a favorite shirt that you know you're going to kill him with. Piece and chain. You know what I'm saying? Dress. You know what I'm saying? You know when you brush your teeth with this. I'm gonna be minty fresh in the morning, boy. I'm be like, cool is the Alaskan mountains. You know what I'm saying? Fresh. Mentos, the fresh maker. You got a favorite gum. You got a favorite everything. Right? So what makes you think that the Lord doesn't have a favorite? You're his favorite. He chose you. You're his children. Right? Because we are created in his image. Of all the people on the face of the earth, when Adam was created, the Lord gave Adam the breath of life. And the Lord was destroyed because of the Adamites' poor decisions to have interracial marriage. Right? Because they chose to follow their flesh. Your flesh will kill you. So if someone kills you, the Lord is going to require their blood. The prayers of the righteous are under the throne seat of the Most High. The Lord ain't forgot nothing. He ain't forgot what happened in 70 AD. He ain't forgot what happened in the Arabian slave trade. He didn't forget what happened in the Reconquista. He didn't forget what happened in the Spanish Inquisition. You know what I'm saying? He didn't forget what happened in the transatlantic slave trade. He didn't forget what happened in Jim Crow. I mean, hell, he ain't forgot what happened when we was enslaved to the Babylonians, to the Grecians, to the Persians, to the Assyrians. He ain't forgot none of that. What you reap, you will sow. But he that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. Noah endured to the end, and his blood was not shed, and 8 souls were saved. Keep reading.
This is Genesis chapter 9, verse 7. So, look at Genesis chapter 9, verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man's shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. 7. And you be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. Verse 8. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I, behold, I establish my covenant.
His what?
My covenant.
His what?
Covenant.
His what?
Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
With you and with your seed after you.
You understand? The Lord, when he gives his word, he keeps it. Now, what was the word that the Lord gave to Noah? Does anybody remember? If not, go to Genesis 6 and 18. And we're going to stop here, and we're going to pick up here next week.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
But with thee will I establish my covenant.
You understand? So when the Lord told him that he was going to destroy life from the face of the earth, he said, but with you, I'm going to establish my covenant. Do this. This is all contingent upon Noah following the instructions of the Lord. So if the Lord told Noah, I'm going to establish my covenant with you, and he gave Noah the instructions to build the ark, and Noah didn't build the ark, there would be no more mankind. Right? Faith with this, the moral of this story highlight, amongst other things, but the spark note takeaway: faith without works is dead. You can't call yourself a follower of God and you don't do what God requires. When we talking about God, we're talking about a specific power, Yahweh, right? Yahweh is the God, the most high God over all the earth, and he's our power. Every people upon the face of the earth has a power they call upon. It just so happens the one that you call upon literally created the heavens and the earth. Buddhism, Asia Major. Hinduism, Asia Minor. Islam, the Arabian Peninsula. Santeria, Voodoo, Ifa, hoodoo. It all comes from North, Central, South, East, and West Africa. So all dogmatic religions are pragmatic off of specific people's spiritual systems. Christianity is a mix of the Israelite spiritualism mixed with paganism. But you want to follow and learn about everybody else's culture except yours. There's a reason why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans speak the tongue of their oppressor, right? Hispanics aren't from Spain. They're not from Portugal, right? So what's their language? What's their culture? Niggas not from England, right? Or France, but we speak English, French, or broken French Creole, or broken English Ebonics. Same thing with Native American, right? See, at least those on the continents of Africa, that's how you know they're not your people. They still have their culture. They know their language. They know where they come from. They know their dynasties, their families, right? Their genealogies. You don't, because it was wiped from the face of the earth, because it was crafty counsel that the name of Israel would be blotted out from under the sun, that it would be no more in remembrance. This is the battle. It's a chessboard. You have to know the field in which the game is played, and to play the game, you have to know the rules. So right here, Noah, well, the Lord is reestablishing the rules in his house, because he established his covenant with Noah, because he gave him that promise in Genesis 6 when he told him, I'm going to destroy all living flesh that have the breath of life upon the face of the earth. Just like we wouldn't have been kicked out of the garden if Noah would have stood, if Adam would have stood up to his wife. I mean, maybe the Canaanites and the Beesites would still be upon the face of the earth if the sons of God, the Adamites, just chose to serve the Lord and marry within their own people. There are rules to play this game. All right. If there are any questions online, there's no questions. Anybody in here got any questions before we break down class? All right, no sweat. All right, so with that, we're going to say Amajium, which means to stand. All right. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Natalanawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawath Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabi'ai Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'awalamium, Aman, in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn and face the front. Go give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Bit of Israel. Body Shabbat. Baju. Rock. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Brakatah. Yakbatah. Sar, turn and face the sister. Bit of Israel. Body Shabbat. Maji. Rock. Yahweh Shemar Atah Bashim Yahshua. Yahweh Shemar Al Atah Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. Yadamatah. Dismiss. All right. And